Hey guys, what's up? I'm just taking like a break here, so I figured I'd close my door, let everyone hear me talk to myself, and start just kind of sketching live here. So as you guys tune in, just let me know if you have any questions. But yeah, my office is like super quiet today. Just kind of weird being the only one talking, but it's cool. Hey, Joe, what's up? So, I'm in a pretty rough stage right here. Hey, Murphy. And it's basically just establishing some really crude lines right now. So, what I do here is I just get these lines sketched in, gives me kind of a base. And then I start filling in where the shadows are going to be. Like right here, I'll be a shadow. And hopefully it has a good angle. I bought this tripod the other day. It's like a little desktop tripod. And I don't think it stands up high enough. So I'm probably going to just order another one pretty soon here. So I can get like a higher view and a little more accurate. Because that doesn't really show you guys much. But I'll try to work right here in the main part of it so you guys can see it. But for the most part, what I do is, on these lines, I don't even worry about them actually connecting, because a lot of times I break up the lines anyway. So I just kind of start, oh hey, thank you. Yeah, I'm still trying to get a following on here. It's all new for the most part. I was introduced to it at Comic-Con over the weekend, which, what was that, like last Friday I think is when I was introduced to it. So still new, and I've only got like a handful of followers, and I think most of them are just connected from Twitter. There's no real activity on my stream yet, so hopefully there will be soon. But so that's what I've got so far. I mean, just really crude lines. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping to do. These are just kind of like little lunch sketches. I do graphic design during the day, so I figured every few times a week that I have available, I'll just jump on here and do some sketching. Plus I could use it. I shut down my graphic design company not too long ago, just because like I've always wanted to do illustration, and like last year my graphic design got so overwhelming that I was basically coming home from my day job, and then I'd work for another 5 hours or so at home doing my freelance stuff. And I mean, I still do some freelance, I just don't pursue it like I was, but I only completed one illustration all last year. I mean, I was still sketching consistently, but one illustration was all I finished, and that's terrible. It's like, this is what I really want to do, like career of choice type thing, and it's never going to happen finishing one illustration a year. So I closed that down, and I've already completed a couple of my little mini-series characters you can see up on my website. Artwork by Adam will take you to my website, artworkbyadam.com. And I've completed what I do with this mini-series, which is like these grumpy little cartoon characters. Start with the Halloween series, then I moved into Christmas, and I moved into some horror movies. Dragon Ball Z is going up. I've got one done from Silent Hill. Let's see. I agree. I like graphic design, but for the most part, I feel that clients interact less in illustration because they don't feel like they completely understand it than they do with graphic design. So with my graphic design, like I'll present them these like amazing comps, and the illustration pieces that I do, like they'd have minimal feedback, but graphic design, it's like, goddamn, everybody's like a graphic designer, so everyone feels like they need to put their 2 cents in. Do you have a stream on here, Murphy? I'm gonna write down your name. I do a lot of monsters, so if you jump over to Artwork by Adam, you'll actually see my illustrations that I've done. Unfortunately, one of them's like new. What time do you broadcast? It's like my new thing. It's like becoming an addiction very quickly. But yeah, I mean, with graphic design, it's like everybody needs to put their 2 cents in, and everybody like will mention, well, if you don't do this for me, I'll just go start a site on Wix. And it's like, okay, go ahead. Oh, cool. Yeah, so I've just been setting my phone next to my computer, and I've been watching a few live streams on there. I know, right? Wix, man. Everybody can be a designer on Wix. They're pre-made websites. Um, but yeah, like, I don't know about you, but Periscope like eats down my phone battery like insanely fast. So I find that I just plug it in and I just have it sitting next to my computer. I've been watching some streams on here, but I'm trying to find more artists on here, but I'm so new to it, I'm not sure how to actually find artists. So I do a search for it, and a bunch of users with name artists pop up, and it doesn't give me anything really usable at all on there. Yeah, that's what I've got going on right now too. I have one video game that I play on here, which is that SimCity Build It, because it doesn't really use a lot of effort to play the game. I jump on it like twice a day, but it eats down my battery fast too. So it's like I've got 2 apps that I use on my phone for the most part, Periscope and that game. And good God, they kill my battery. Like, no, I've never heard of them. Who are they? Little Deb's Creative Crew, huh? But yeah, if I don't play those games or stream, my phone will like seriously last like 3 or 4 days on the battery. If I do either one of those, I always have to have it plugged in. Tell me more about that Creative Crew. I'm kind of interested in what it is. Oh, no kidding. How do I find out about it? Like, do I just do a search for it or what? Oh, Facebook. Okay. Let's see. Little Deb. I'm writing this down. Creative Crew. Yeah, for sure. I've been using my personal account on Facebook mainly because my actual Facebook page doesn't get any views like whatsoever unless I do like a convention. So just search for Adam Miconi and you'll find me. I think I'm wearing like a beanie or something like that in my picture. I'm the only one on there, so with that name, so it's pretty easy to find me. I'm probably one of the easiest people to stalk out there because of my name. I did, however, find somebody who has a similar name to me on there, but he spells his last name with an E, which was just kind of weird, but I thought it would be kind of cool to like link up with him and everything, and like it turns out the dude's like kind of strange. So I was like, no, maybe not. Fun or not, there's just too many people out there that you're not sure about. I'd say with my social media, I'm pretty much open with all my stuff on there. It's like, I know, right? Alright, there's what we got going on there. So this one's just going to be a skull. I mean, it's nothing super interesting right now, just because my timeline's... Alright, cool. Yeah, as soon as I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and accept it. But yeah, follow me on here, and I'll find you also, and follow you back on it. Especially if you stream at night, that one's really cool, because that's when I'm doing all like my illustrations and stuff like that. Do you do Instagram too by chance? That's probably where I'm the most active at. Like all my Instagram posts over to Facebook, but Instagram's my thing. I'm in Utah of all places. So definitely want to get out of here at some point in time, but it's like one of those things where it's like you want to move, but like your entire life somewhere. So it's like if I move, like all my family's here and everything. So okay, do you have the same handle? Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's funny because like I do some Diablo stuff every now and then, but I don't like to be deemed as fan art. But I'm trying to read these and talk. But I feel like naturally my style is very similar to Diablo in just the way I think. So whenever like I'm drawing just monsters and stuff, like here, I'll flip back a page. I drew this. Here's a perfect example. I drew this the other day while I was sitting at a dentist appointment for my kid, and after I had posted this, some people are like, "Dude, that looks like Diablo," and they like sent me a link, and it looked almost identical, and I was like, "The hell!" Like, and then like here's some other stuff. Like I feel like my artwork is very right. Actually, I can't complain about his dentist because tonight his dentist has rented out a theater and he's letting everybody see Batman versus Superman. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But see, like even like the weird people like that, it's like I just feel like my style is very much Diablo-esque. So I feel like it fits into that realm pretty good. And it's funny because like before I really was getting into this, like I'd almost, I hate to say it, but I'd almost given up on trying to get into the illustration industry because like I keep on sending my work off to people like Wizards of the Coast and everything, and I'll admit I have applied there I think 26 times now, and they keep on telling me that I'm not good enough. And my graphic design was picking up so much at that time that I was just like, whatever, I'm giving up on this shit. And I kind of stopped looking, but lately I've had this realization that it's time to go back to the roots, and whether they say I'm not good enough or whatever, I'm just going to bust my ass off until I can. So that's my goal, is I'm going to get into something like that and at least get a few commissions just to have some sort of claim to some cool artwork. Because like the shit that I do at work every day for the graphic design, some of it is so mundane and brain dead, and I can't take it anymore. So it's like I need to get into games. I know, right? Have you made any success with companies like that? I need to start making those connections. That's my thing. Oh man, that's how it goes. Yeah, some of them are just so. You should see this logo. I can't show it to you because it's the work logo and it hasn't been approved or anything like that. But this logo, I had sent them 5 logo variations to choose from, and I get an email back that says, "Well, thank you for your samples, but me and the team have sat down and we've decided to draw up what we want the logo to look like." And the font was called Chalk Duster. I know, right? It really is. This font was terrible, and the way that they were using the text didn't even match up. And it's like, that's what I get. So I send them these really cool designs, and I get that back, and it's worn on me. I'm so burnt out on it now, because that's how like every project goes. I'm sure the illustration industry is like that too, and I just haven't been in it enough to realize it. But I still think it would be cooler to say, yeah, I had this project from Blizzard Entertainment or Wizards of the Coast or something, and they made some ridiculous changes and saying, yeah, I had Joe Schmo Dentist out here that I was doing the site for, and Joe Schmo Dentist made stupid changes. It's like, nobody cares. So I figure if you're going to be dealing with stupid or ridiculous changes, at least do one for a big company than like a no-name. Yeah, for sure. It was good talking to you, man. I've got your name written down here, so I'll follow you on Periscope as soon as I'm done here. And I'll accept your Facebook feed too. But yeah, I'm going to be drawing here for probably another like 30 minutes or so. So I'll catch you right after that. But yeah, it was good talking to you. Hey, you too. And if anybody else is on here that wants to ask some questions or anything, feel free. So, we can talk about anything from my process that I do up to movies or anything. I'm open for anything, but for the most part, on my drawings, what I do is I just kind of build out these shadow areas. And I'm doing some paintings. If you follow me on Instagram, the handle is just instagram.com/Adam Miconi, Miconi. You'll see how I paint too, because like my Instagram feed is mainly work in progress stuff. It's sketches. It's just like Instagram, I'll post my finished stuff on there, but for the most part, it's just all work in progress and sketches. So I pretty much put my entire sketchbook up on there, and that's where I'm most active at. So like everything I do goes up on Instagram. I mean, I'll post absolutely ridiculous stuff up on there too, like drawings that have no place on the internet. That's the stuff that goes on my Instagram page. So I do the good, the bad, and the ugly there. Where my website is pretty much just all finished work. My Instagram is pretty much everything. Plus, I never know what I want to do on my own website. Like for clients, I just put something together for them, no problems. But for my work, I'm super critical about it. So like I change my website so much, it's not even funny. Like I really should just waste that time, or not waste that time, but spend that time actually drawing. But there's something about my site that I'm never comfortable with it, so I'm always making updates to it. And my latest thing with it was I got really fed up with it because I design all of my stuff with WordPress themes, and I customize them to match what I want it to look like. Because that way clients can edit their own stuff every now and then, and I don't have to always be like doing really ridiculous changes. But my website is on WordPress too because it's easy to manage that way. But every time I swear they do an update, something breaks on it. So like they'll update a shortcode and then all your shortcodes don't work. So I got so oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm going to be trying to do more of these things. I got so fed up with my website the other night that I took every page back to like this ridiculously basic default setting. And it's funny because like there's no shortcodes, there's no editing, there's nothing on there except the content, and it's just working so much better now. Like I have no problems with my website right now. It's just pure basic WordPress. It's kind of funny. The only page that has anything custom on it's the home page. That's the only place that has like anything even remotely. And I'm probably going to actually be updating it again too, because like I started thinking about it, and like for most of my work up there, it's like my website used to look really cool because like all my work was on the home page, but I could never sell a single piece on there. And I figured that most of the art directors are going to be going there to look at my work, but that's far and in between. Most of the people who follow my work are probably going to be going there to purchase something. And in that case, if there's my artwork posted with like a little buy now button on there, like hidden down at the bottom, nobody cares about that. I mean, it's like if they're there to just look at the artwork, a buy now button is not going to bother them at all. So I want to switch my website over to make it easier for people to buy my pictures if they like them. So it's like I have to make up my mind, do I want to edit that again, or do I want to edit it and start making some money off of it, or not edit it and perfect my skills? It's one of those things where you've got to make a choice on one or the other. And lately I've been like super motivated to draw. Like that's all I ever want to do now is sit and draw. So my website's kind of taken a back seat, which is nice, but I've only made like $50 off of it all last year. It's so bad. I don't know, I guess that's what conventions are for really though, right? Alright, so that's basically what it starts off as. So I'm going to move this. So still nothing done up there, but I always start off with like a base of shadows right there. And then I go about 50% on the darkness on these things, and then I'll go back and I'll refine some edges and add my details and stuff like that as I go. So, hey Rick, thanks for joining. So I've actually got like this little skull reference up on my screen that I'm using to I have an app that I use that I can pose these things, and I kind of used that right before I started this thing, but It's not really that great, so it was just really to get the shape of the skull, but it doesn't give me anything to work with, so I'm trying to figure out where all the color changes would be and or the value changes. Let's see. Like I mentioned before, if you guys weren't in here, I'm probably going to invest in a better tripod stand. I started Periscope last Friday, so I'm brand new here, and I ran to Best Buy and I had to kind of jimmy rig this little tripod. It was like fairly expensive too for how I had to do it, which was ridiculous, and I shouldn't have done it, but it is what it is. But I think I'm going to probably order a better one on Amazon pretty soon. You know, it's funny you say that. I know, right? I need to. But it's funny you say that because every time I go to hit a recording, I get like really nervous on it. And it's like, what am I going to draw? What am I going to say? What am I going to do? But so far, the crowd here on Periscope has been so awesome. Like, I've become addicted to this thing in under a week. Like, I love the crowd here. And it's interesting too. I've noticed that the crowd segregates quite a bit on everything. So, now what I mean by that is, since I do drawing, I hear you. When it comes to drawing, I've noticed like all I do is attract people who like to draw and like to watch drawing, and they're super supportive and everything. But I've noticed like people who just like talk about their lives, like I'll jump in there just to see how other people's streams look and how they manage them. And if they're just talking about their life, like, oh, my life sucks, it's like that's the kind of crowd. And they'll be like, yeah, your life does suck. You should go kill yourself. And I was like, whoa, I'll stick with the art community. They're way, way better than this. Like, some of the people out there, how they talk, it just blows me away. It's like, I could never go tell somebody to do that. That'd be insane. Oh, that's cool. Well, like I said, I'm brand new here, so if you want to follow it, feel free. And I'm going to write your handle down, too. So if you start to stream, I'll follow your stuff too. Okay, got that written down. Yeah, some people are like way harsh on here, but so far the art community that everybody's jumped in here has been really cool. I've really enjoyed it. I guess it's like the choose your friends wisely type saying. You know, it's like the stuff you stream is going to attract that kind of an audience. So if you're talking about how depressing your life is, I'm sure you're getting a lot of people who are just as depressed, and I don't know. I like art. Oh, really? I was down at Comic-Con doing a booth, and there's a guy that I've been talking to on Instagram for quite a while, and we're friends on Facebook too, but we've never met in person. And I got to meet him, which was really cool. And then, yeah, you should. They're fun, especially if you have an Artist Alley booth. It's interesting to the assortment of people that come up to you, because it's a whole different feel being behind the table, which can be kind of boring versus being on the floor. But yeah, so I met this guy, and he was actually commissioned by the same guy who hired me for this recent commission. So it was kind of cool talking about that and seeing where each of us are going with it. I haven't seen him post anything up for his though, so I don't know if he actually is going to or not, but I kind of hope he does. But it's only the one that I'm doing is my second religious piece I've ever been commissioned to do. And I'm not really a religious person, but it was still super fun to do. Monsters. Oh yeah, Joey Cabral. So he was the guy who was in the booth right next to me. He's the one who introduced me to it. He is totally badass. I like him. So the stuff I usually draw is monsters. So while I'm still trying to get my feet wet and speed up my drawing skills a little bit for this, because nobody wants to see me spend 2 hours just drawing in lines that you can barely see. They want to see something more like this that you can actually kind of start making out. I figured I'll start something in Akita. I figured I'll start with something a little smaller that I'm a little bit more comfortable with. Oh, right? I mean, it's been surprising to me so far, like how many people chime in, because I have this YouTube channel that I've been running forever. Like I think it's been running for like 4 years now, and I've only got 80 followers on YouTube. So like I figured if I did this, not much is going to change. But so far, like it's been a really cool community here. I just need to be able to get faster at drawing. Like I feel like I'm really slow. Speaking of Joey, sitting next to him at the convention, holy hell, that guy finished like 10 commissions there in the time I finished like one drawing. Yeah, that brings up a question. Like, how do you guys feel about, like, say I started a sketch in here and stream the same sketch as I built it out over and over again. Like, say I do 3 streams on the same sketch as I built out. Is that stuff like really interesting to people, or is it like, oh god, you're drawing a centaur again, fun? It's like, oh wait, it's the same centaur still. Like, does that stuff get boring, or do you guys like that? Because like, one thing I've learned is the stuff that people like is usually very different than the stuff that I like. So I might think it's, oh cool, thank you. A lot of times I feel like something would be kind of boring and other people are like, no, that's my favorite thing to do. All right, yeah, because like here's this. I started this stream yesterday for that. And like I finished like this part right here. Very true. That is very true. I finished that right there, and I'm working on this horn right here, and I did a little bit of this work right here, and that's where I got yesterday. But I was like, do people really want to chime in and watch me finish the handle, or is it like, oh, that's the same drawing again? I don't really care about that. So I've been kind of tossing that up. So your guys' advice is really cool. So maybe I will stream to finish that. And that's one thing I've liked about this too, is I've noticed that people are completely comfortable with a stream that lasts 5 minutes versus hours. Like YouTube, I always feel like you need at least like 15-20 minutes. And I've noticed on here, like people chime in for like a 5-minute stream, which is way cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think right now I've got 40 followers, and I think most of them auto hooked up from Facebook. So, or not Facebook, but Twitter. I don't know. I've never really got too, like I have every social media outlet in the world that I'm on, but I've never really been super active on them. Like this, I'd say recently is probably the most active I've ever been on social media. So I'm still trying to, like, even though I've had the streams forever, I'm still trying to learn how they work in a sense. But it's interesting because like you'll hear people be like, oh yeah, YouTube's a community and Periscope's a community. And since I'm not active in it, or at least I wasn't, I never really understood what they meant by that, because it's like, whatever, people don't follow, and because like I don't, you know. And as I've been getting more into it, it's interesting just how many of these so-called strangers you end up becoming friends with, and like people chiming in. It's like you get to know them over stuff like this. So I'm starting to understand what they mean by it's a community. It's really interesting too. All right, I'll write that one down. COLLIN. Oh man, could you imagine how nice that would be? Like doing this for your day job? That would be so nice. Yeah, I'm going to start following him. He was super nice too. It's interesting getting into this though, because it's almost like everybody knows each other. And when I was watching Joey's stream, he was the one who introduced me to this, and like I kind of held the camera for him during one of the streams down at Comic-Con, and just how many people chime in just to say hi to him. It was awesome. I like that community aspect to it. And on these longer ones too that I'm doing, I'm hoping to upload them all to YouTube also. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like he was telling me about it down at Comic-Con, and I was like, is it really that interactive when you have to do all the talking and people are just kind of texting? And he was telling me that it's actually incredibly interactive, and now I'm seeing it too. I'm thinking about doing a quick stream tonight when I get home, just to kind of show one of the paintings that I'm working on. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, YouTube is, like, I don't have like any activity on YouTube. Like, I get a comment on a stream every once in a while that usually says like, oh, this is good, or that music was terrible, choose something else. Somebody told me that the other day. And then I didn't think the music was that bad until I re-listened to it with that thought in mind, and I was like, oh man, this music's terrible. But that's about all the comments I get on there. So tonight I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on a quick stream. It's not going to be anything long, but I'm going to show you guys the oil painting that I've been working on. And I make a joke because like I say it's the longest oil painting I've ever worked on, just because like I kept getting discouraged with it and putting it away, and then like I'd get it out a couple months later and work on it, then get discouraged and put it away. And I finally posted it up saying this is officially done. Okay, hey, it was great talking to you. I'm glad you chimed in here. Yeah, for sure. I'll keep on posting some stuff up too. So I got so discouraged with it. See you later. That I finally finished it. Yeah, it really is. It's been going on. So it's a year later, I finally finish it, right? And I make a post saying, I promise this is the last time I'm making a post about this damn oil painting. And I'm sitting there the other day and I'm looking at it because like I've been waiting for it to dry so I can varnish it. And I'm looking at it and I think, oh my God, that hand on there is terrible. So I gotta pull the goddamn thing out again and finish the hand on it. But I'm probably I'm considering live streaming that, but I don't know if I dare to because like my oil painting skills are kind of terrible right now. And this is like the largest oil painting I've ever completed. It measures something like I think it's 24 inches high by 30 inches wide or something like that. So it was way more than I should have chose. All right, I'll show it to you guys. I'll stream it later tonight. So if you want to add me, it'll tell you when I go live, and I'll show it to you guys. But I bit off so much more than I could chew on that one. But out of every drawing and every painting I've ever done, I would say that one became the biggest learning. Awesome. It was by far the biggest learning thing I've ever done when it came to art. And I've repainted that same body on her probably 6 times now. So chances are it's probably going to dry and crack and all that kind of stuff from having too many layers. But yeah, just I learned so much from it. So I've been asked if I'll sell it, but because of all the issues that it's had, I'm not going to sell it, but I might sell prints of it. But like I was doing a new technique called oil on paper on board. So what I do is I print out my drawing that I do like this on a piece of paper. Then I put it in the bathtub full of water and let it soak for a while. And then I pin it to the wall and tape it down. And it stretches the paper, so the paper dries. And it's all stretched, right? And then you use matte medium to adhere it to a piece of masonite. So that's this technique that I was trying, and I've never been shown how to do it, so I was just kind of winging it. And because of that, I found that I didn't use enough matte medium, so it's got this little bubble that it was like a dime size when I first started. And I need to change pencils, that one's way too dull now. It was like this dime size originally, and it grew to be like this, the size of like $3 bills hooked together. So I bought this syringe and I injected some matte medium underneath the paper, and it worked really well actually. But actually I'm going back to that other one. But I didn't put enough under there originally again because I was trying to be cheap because I don't know, I'm just being cheap on it. And it still has like this quarter size bubble under it. So I need to try that technique again and see if I can get it to adhere there. So it's got this bubble under it, which discouraged me, and I put it away for a couple months. Got it back out when the bubble finally resolved itself for the most part. Injected the new medium under it. So there was that issue. And then I was trying some new types of paint mediums, and found that even with all my windows open and everything, I can't remember which one this one was called, but just opening the medium itself instantaneously gave me a massive headache. So I'm getting rid of that, and now that I'm finishing up that one, I'm trying water miscible oils, or also known as water mixable oils, which I still don't quite understand how they work, but I think they're going to be cool because apparently everything's done with water instead of like mineral spirits and turpentine and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be my next painting that I attempt. But so this one taught me that actual oils give me massive headaches, and I need to use better matte medium. And when I'm stretching my paper, make sure I get a very thin, cheaper paper, because the paper I got was a little bit thicker and it didn't stretch enough. So I need to get a little thinner paper on that too. But I'll show it to you guys tonight, and I'll show you the hand that I need to fix. But I posted this one online, and holy hell, like the whole internet, I swear, came down upon me for a little bit. So I took it down and then reposted it, but everyone's like, dude, she looks like a fucking guy. And, oh, that neck is totally screwed up. And, oh, that hand's jacked up. I give him credit, the hand is really bad. But, yeah, after it kind of got slaughtered online, I decided it's time to jump back on it and touch some of it up. Because, like, there are some legitimate claims on it, but some of them are easy to fix. But there's one dude who I took it down off of this side, but there's one guy who's basically like, dude, you really need to just give up painting right now, because that is like the ugliest chick I've ever seen. So that one actually made me laugh quite a bit. But I'll show it to you guys. You guys can make your own judgments. It'll be interesting to see what everyone thinks. But the neck on her, I agree, the way I painted the hair on it did make the neck look a little bit thicker than I had anticipated, which is a super easy fix. But yeah, I'll let you guys decide if she looks like a man or not, but I didn't think so. Alright, so that's what we're up to right now. Hey guys, welcome to the feed. I just looked over and I was like, oh man, there's 5 people on here. I didn't even realize it. So I'm at work. My coworker looks in here like, dude, you're talking to yourself, what's the deal? The joys of technology. It makes all of us look like we're talking to ourselves these days. Alright, going back to this other one. Okay guys, here's a little thing that I'll do. Real quick before you guys go. I use, I should, right? These are actually what I use right here. Prismacolors, it's the PC935s. It's basically just a black Prismacolor pencil. These things are awesome, like in so many ways. So like with all these like thicker areas right here, like that's totally gonna rub off onto this page. But I found by switching to these instead of graphite, it doesn't rub off onto the other page nearly as much. So a little thing I started experimenting with, and I've loved the outcome. But it looks like a few people have to get back to work, and unfortunately I do too. So jump back on here for tonight's stream, and I'll show you guys that painting. And I'm also thinking about doing one of my digital painting. I might aim this at my computer and see if the quality's good enough, but I'll show you guys a little trick on how I'm painting on there too. Because like I'm running, the deadline for this piece was a week, and I am almost out of time on it, so I'll show you that. But thanks for chiming in, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the positive feedback on everything. And I will see you guys tonight when I do that other feed. So I'll talk to you guys soon.